Surely. First of all, I would like to give you millions and millions of congratulations for this wonderful achievement.
Thank you.
What we have been prevailing since class one till date,
Yes.
everyone is waiting for the destiny, and this is the destiny.
Yes, sir. It was quite surprising because I couldn't find a few names in the list which I was expecting to see. I was sure that if I'm going to get it, it would be towards the end because of my written score. And I also knew that it is only my interview that will be like the plus point for me, that will make me to, get through this thing. And it turned out to be well. And you have a great role to play, like, how the interview went and how well versed I was the moment arrived. So yeah, I'm really grateful for the constant support.
Thank you so much for this wonderful compliment, and I'm very sure that there are only few candidates who have scored 62 questions and they are selected.
Yeah, there are three, sir, and I know the rest two as well. And yeah.
Okay, so you are one among the three who has done this magic.
Yes, sir. God's grace and your guidance, of course.
Definitely. So it was really a hard journey of last 6 months.
Very
Uh, sleep,
stressful and mentally harassing.
sleepless nights.
Right, sir. And very frustrating, sir. Like, suddenly you would wake up in the middle of the night and start feeling all those, negativities, and then getting up back in the morning and starting from the scratch with a positive note. It was really difficult. But then there was a thing that, if I get 26 or 27 or maybe even 25 in the interview, then probably I'll be able to make it. So that's what kept me going. And despite all the rumors which said that you won't be able to get 25 or 26 if you don't bribe the panel, or if you don't bribe the people who are work clerks. So, like, I took it as a challenge. And because I know one of my very good friends, she could score 26 because like she was like had a very low score in Hindi and she could score 26, or like all with despite all these rumors she went for the interview and she did well and she got her marks. Like, so then I was like very sure that if I am going to perform well, then something good will happen. And I'm waiting for the actually the score sheet, and I think then I'll be actually happy, because
Because what I sure is you must have got 27. Then only you are selected.
yes, sir, yes, sir, and it's a big thing for me,
Yes,
very big thing.
definitely.
And
Definitely. Because there are the candidates who are even scoring 66, 67. They are out of the race.
yes, sir, yes, sir. And so, like, interview was surely like your contribution has been there since day one. But because I knew that I had appeared in one interview for Chhattisgarh Public Service Commission and it went well. But then I didn't use to. I hadn't this idea in my mind that we have to sit and prepare for interview as well. Because like I'm doing research here at Banaras Hindu University, so I rarely would find time to sit and revise all those things. But getting in touch with such a platform where you will be able to have mock interviews, especially for the purpose of assistant professor exams, so this was very new and this was what I had been looking for. And I stumbled across you, and that was my fate and luck both. And yeah, you just provided your guidance in a correct way, most correct way. So
Thank you so much for this wonderful compliment. When you received your result last night, what was your first reaction?
sir, I made 5 or 6 people read that it's my name or not. Is it waiting or is it like selected in UR? I made 5 to 6 people, read that PDF. And even then, I was unable to realize. Then I opened it in my laptop. I zoomed it out. Okay, it's mine. And some people also told me that because you have a weird name, it has to be yours. No, and Surejya or such kind of name, like it's only yours. So I was like, okay, then I was relieved. And that there is a feeling of relaxation that has been, very making me feel very nice since last night. And because it hasn't been my ultimate aim, UPHESC or any public service commission exam. I look forward to finding a place at some universities. But yes, this was step one, and I could prove myself here. I could achieve that, and I'm feeling very grateful to God and all my seniors and teachers like you who guided me throughout.
So who was the person to whom you intimated your happiness first?
So I was sitting with my mother, and she was like, "Okay, it doesn't matter if you even if you don't qualify." It was around 7:45 or 7:50, and she was like, "Even if you don't qualify, it doesn't matter. Like you are made. It will consider that you are made for greater things." And I was like, okay, okay. I just want 24 or 25 in the interview. I don't know if I'll be selected or not. I just want 24 or 25 in the interview. I was like that. And then the result came. The PDF was started getting circulated on groups. And I just started from the end. and and then saw my name, okay, at the spot 51, and I was like, wow, it's 51. It's not the last one. So then I made my dad, my sister read the result. I forwarded to them. I forwarded to a few friends, and they confirmed it. Yes, it's your name. And then yeah, then I could realize it actually. They were very happy. Like it was mostly for our parents because we have reached like such age that they start panicking about what will be your future, like because none of them have been in academics in my family, so they don't know that how long this journey actually is. It's all about patience. So
Really, it must have been a heart-touching
it
moment.
a great relief, and we also cried for a while because like they too have had sleepless nights with me, seeing how troubled I was, how stressed I was for the interview. So they too would like not say anything to me directly, but they would feel that, oh, this person, this poor person, something good should happen to her. And I was like, okay, let it be, let it be. Whatever happens, I just want 24, 25 in the interview because I've prepared so long for it. And also because the interview went well for me, and I was the first one to get interviewed that day on 1st of July. So in a way I was nervous because when you hear a few people's experience, what kind of questions they are asking in the room, then a kind of mentality for you is built up there. But I was the first one to go inside, so I was like shaking, my legs were shaking totally. But then there was also this thought running in my mind, they would be in fresh mood and they'll ask you good questions, and no matter whatever they ask you, you know it. And like when I went for my last interview, which was for this UPPSC Polytechnic lecturer, you had told me this one thing that take it as another mock interview. So I was like, take it as another mock interview. And I went inside, and everything went fine. Everything went fine. They even called me back, like when I was leaving the room. They were like, ask her something that she wouldn't be able to answer, and they called me back. They asked me three, four more questions, and then they themselves were laughing that what are we asking even, like book of what books would you suggest to your students for studying literary terms, these kind of questions. Yeah. So they wanted
Definitely.
to see if I
So,
remember even the authors.
whenever we accomplish something in our life, like this achievement, there are a lot many contribution of many peoples. So what I feel is this is the right point of time to acknowledge them. So I would like to ask you some names since the beginning whom would like to contribute to your achievements.
So it has been mostly my father. Like he pushed me to pursue English literature. Initially I wanted to pursue engineering or science because I had sciences in class 12th. So he told me that if you are not getting any good college there, so it's better that you move towards humanities, because I have seen people having a better future in humanities than in sciences, because you'll be like the kind of person you are, you won't be able to fit into that culture. So he told me that, and at that point of time I was not able to understand it. I resisted. I did all the things like that would go against me finding admission at BHU here for my graduation. So like I came here, I got admitted, and then like somehow Lord Shiva wanted me to be here. Like I got here again for the masters, and also for PhD too. Unwillingly I went for the entrance exam and I got it, which is very tough. Like only 3 or 4 students could get selected in one term. And then later on, my mother, like, because I was having certain emotional issues, like, at hostel, when you feel get around people who are very competitive, so I would like find it unfit for me. So I asked her if you could come here, like, even for a year. I was in my third semester of masters, and then she moved to Varanasi altogether. And like, she, after staying with me for 6 months, even my entire family moved to Varanasi. So, like, they have contributed every bit of it, whatever I am today. Because, when you are at your home, many things, many stresses that you have when you are residing outside, be it food or lodging, or, other things like, like cleaning and everything. So, all things get shared when you are staying with your family. So, that way, I was very much blessed. And yeah, so my parents and my sister, they have had a great role. And if, I don't have many friends, but a few of them, they have actually supported me emotionally very well.
Would you like to take the name of any of your teachers, professors who has changed your aptitude?
Yes,
Like,
sir. First and foremost, there was one retired professor here, Dr. Asha Vishwas ma'am. Like, it is from her that I, gained this inspiration of learning what literature is. And she was a retired professor, and somehow she was made to teach us for one semester. And then I started loving poetry, linguistics, and everything about literature. Later on, when I moved to masters, we had here a very famous teacher, Banivrat Mahanta sir, and Dhriti Dalai ma'am. So these two teachers were my most favorite. Like, I won't be prejudiced about others. Like, everyone is good in their own way, but there is one that clicks to your personality, or the kind of thing that you vibe with. So these two were my most favorite ones. And later, when I found here admission in research, so my supervisor, he himself, very positive person, very supportive, like in every way. Another father figure he is. And even yesterday when I went to the department, he said, like, you'll get good marks no matter whatever happens. You have to get to a good place, like, not this then something different. So, like, he's so positive. Like, even we have a slightest of the problems, he would like provide us with most positive of the advices. So these people are like uh, had a very great role.
that's great. I wish that this video will reach them and they will feel proud to see you as their student.
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing, that the main motive behind this interaction is to remove the taboo from the mind of those parents who put a lot of restrictions to their daughters while sending for the higher studies. So I want to give a message to all the parents who are of having some orthodox type of thinking through you. So you are going to be the inspiration for this country.
You, sir. And so, like, even we could see the result that we had yesterday. Out of 60 to 63 seats that we had in the general category, more than 50% are women. So, great cheers to them, to all the feminine power that have kept them driven throughout. And I felt very proud to be one of them. And yeah, we are creating new history. So uh, improvising things, and a great future for us. And many parents who are actually stopping people or their daughters from pursuing higher studies, they should have this one thing in their minds, that they should start looking beyond gender now, be it a woman or a male child or a female child, doesn't matter. The one who seeks a better future, they should support that kid. And of course, like, each one of us has this right to dream. And parents are like one superior power, that, like, who could support us in this journey. So if it is in their capability, so they must do that. They must do that.
Definitely. I do believe that now all the waves of feminism are over. Now we are in the post-feminism.
Yes.
Okay. So there are many girls like you who are still struggling outside to get such positions, such prestigious positions. So your words will be very much inspiring for them. So I would request you to share your story since the beginning in very brief, so that all girls will be able to connect you, that they are also like you. If you can do, they can do.
Yes, sir. I was, as I told you previously, I was from a science background. I used to prepare for IITs. So the switch altogether was not very easy for me. And like after doing my graduation, then too, I wanted to pursue linguistics. I was very much, enthusiastic about that because it had sciences kind of objectivity in it. And later on somehow I got admitted here in masters, and then things changed. So you have to keep trying, one has to keep trying, what I have realized throughout this journey. And no matter what, like I couldn't qualify my net or grf in the first time, it was in the third time that I did it. So no matter what, how many failures you see, if you want to do it, then you should be like actually zealous toward it, you should be actually persistently practicing it, and then there will be a day when you'll be successful, because these are the tests that god has set for us. And he'll ultimately provide you with that gift of success the day you get all such knowledge for the post or for the position which you have been trying for. So the persistence and continuous labor are the keys that I feel have been a part of my success. I follow MS Dhoni like a crazy fan, and he has this a very important thing to say, that one must focus on the process, not on the result. So if we focus on the process, anything is achievable, and no matter like if it takes 1 year or 2 year, but if we are totally entirely concentrating on that process, motivating ourselves to continue practicing those things, so one day will come when we'll be able to achieve it. So I think that is very important factor one must remember, because most of us, what happens, we get frustrated or depressed by seeing other people finding success easily, but that success hasn't come to them with such an ease as we imagine it to have found them with. But it is actually like everyone's journey is different, everyone has a story, everyone has a struggle, none of our lives are easy. But that practice, that persistence is the key that have kept them motivated. And I think that is what people should look after, instead of going after their failures or the feeling of remorse. People who couldn't make it tomorrow yesterday will make it tomorrow. So this is the thing, one has to understand, because we have reached such an age when one has to find a compromise between these situations. And the ultimate goal should be persistence. Like even if I qualified yesterday, it doesn't mean that my journey has reached a stop. It is still continued.
Great, very rightly said. Because those who have a strive for success, they never stop.
Yes, sir.
So you have already qualified GTC exam also. So I wish you get that position as well.
Yes, sir. Like the interview is interview date is yet to get announced, and I think it will be somewhere in towards the end of July. Yeah, there are only 4 seats, but then still I'm hopeful. I was hopeful for the written because I wanted to make it only till the interview, because that would mean that you are among top 15, 16 candidates who qualified the written exam. So I just wanted to be there. But now I think if I could get 27 here, then I could get 27 there as well. And great, and many thanks to you. Like you have done, like motivated me in every way, like trying to push me from negativity towards positivity, and all such questions or the key elements for the interview purposes that you have provided us with. So I think that has been a great help.
Thank you so much. But I would say that your hard work has placed all your stars and planets at the right place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That has happened. Like there is something that has taken me forward, because only 3 or 4 62 people have found their seats there. And I know that all those people, and I know like they too might have gotten above 25 in order to secure a position there, because it was really tough for people having a score below 63. We saw all those analysis of yours on YouTube, and then we also we were like very hopeful that okay, at least for the interview, for the sake of interview, if we are getting good marks this time, then perhaps next time also we can continue it, and we can like we could get good marks in written, and one has the practice of interview, so that will be like something assured. Yeah. So that way I was thinking.
Yeah, that's great. Very shortly, the next advertisement is going to come out, and there are many candidates who are looking for this job again. So, what will be your suggestions for them for the preparation of written as well as written?
So I have this tendency of reading things in detail, be it prose or any essay or novel that is prescribed. So I will suggest them that now, when the date of exam hasn't been announced yet, so they should go for at least for a full reading of those texts. Like, I won't say that the entire extent they should achieve that. No one could achieve that like in a time of a few months. But we already have read many of those. So at least a revision, and especially the prose pieces which have been prescribed in the syllabus, one should read them entirely, because the questions are asked from inside the lines or from in between the lines, like we saw in the case of Hind Swaraj one. And I could mark that correct. I was very happy and proud of myself because of that, because I unwillingly was made to read that book. Hind Swaraj is very political, and you're not interested, but then you mark the answer correct. So read the prose thoroughly, and all the poetic pieces that we have prescribed. So like the pattern of question here is mixed kind of, because we saw one question from Ode to the West Wind, which was of subjective nature. One has to have a deep understanding of the lines. And we also saw a question from My Last Duchess, where they asked how many times the name of Fra Pandolf has been repeated. So, like, a wholesome approach should be there when we are reading poetry. Like, from ridiculous to meaningful, everything should be covered. And for like other theories and everything, like we are to teach like a batch of students who are to get graduated, or who are in their post graduation. So one must have a clear concept of theories. So people should already start reading all these things, because the syllabus is vast and the competition is going to be high. So aim for the highest. Even if you fall, I think you'll like aim for 80 or 85. Even if you fall, you'll reach somewhere around 65 or 70. So yeah, that has been my way of analyzing things. Because here too, when I sat for the exam, I analyzed the previous mark sheet, and I saw there, like, people who had 60 or above marks, they were like easily getting a position there. So I had my lower limit set for 60, and upper limit was 75. So somehow, because of OMR sheet trouble, because the pattern was different, it was not linear OMR sheet filling. So because of that, I did like 4 questions wrong altogether. Otherwise, my score would have been 66, and I wouldn't have gone through all such troubles and mental stresses. But anyway, I had God wanted me to learn all these things. Like He wanted me to make sure of the things that I might have just marked up. So yeah, it happens. It's just a process, and like you have to give your 100%.
That's good. What will be your suggestions for the preparation of interview?
So interview is one thing where you have to be like personality wise very confident. Whatever they ask, take 10 to 15 seconds, and if you are like feeling nervous, or not sure about your answer, take 10 to 15 minutes and build your answer, or even repeat the question just after them and build your answer meanwhile in the subconscious. And the other thing is that the basic terms and terminologies and concepts, all such things should be clear, because they don't ask, or they don't go for any like bigger stones unless you put forward them. So they ask me questions like sprung rhythm, Harlem Renaissance, which are very common, because if you are a student of English literature, you should be aware of all these terms. So a basic understanding of all the key terms, as well as all the ages of literature in English as well as in America, and they're not going for world literatures unless you have your thesis based on that, or you introduce them with for example, post-colonial. If you're using the term post-coloniality, then they might go after African literature or any other third world literature. So it is you who actually guide the entire interview, and so you actually trained us in that way. You told us that it is whatever you speak that will, make the entire interview picture. So yeah, for me also the case was same. When I did my after doing my demo, which was on the second coming, they didn't ask me any follow up questions on that. They went all because they could understand that this person has already prepared with this area and she'll be able to answer that. They asked me questions from Harlem Renaissance or African American literature, because my research is based on that. So the approach of panel is also different. Sometimes they may ask you follow up questions from the demo that you're doing, sometimes altogether from your interest or research area. So everything should be prepared, because you're going to teach a class, a batch of students. So unless you want yourself to feel in a troublesome situation in that class, because if one comes up with any such a minor question and you wouldn't be able to answer, so that will be a case of humiliation for on a part of teacher. So I think we should be prepared with each and everything, and we have time. Like after the release of answer keys and the time when interview takes place, we have a time of 3 to 4 months. So I think that is enough for you to practice all such terms and base your understanding of that. So yeah, a wholesome approach and full and with full dedication that is required.
Okay, very nice. What is the role of image management in presentation while interviewing?
So, like when we sit in a class, so any teacher who appear dull, like many students who are not too studious would take them for granted. So, image management and the way you throw out your speech, that has a great role to play in capturing the attention of the students whom you are going to teach. Also, this thing is valid with the panel who are interviewing you. It attracts them towards you. They could know it from your image or from the way you are talking, that you're capable of, working things out. So, and then what happens, they'll not go for silly questions. They'll go for questions that they think you might find tough, and which you are, as you're actually prepared with those, so everything will be easy for you. So it is
That's great.
it is step one for me, image management, and you have to be clean and tidy and everything, uh, dressed in a sober manner, and speak in a way that attracts and addresses each and everyone.
Very nice. Last question to you. There are many girls like you who wants inspiration. So, what could be your message for them?
So, be it a girl or a boy, the only thing that they should strive for is a complete knowledge of the subject, complete knowledge of whatever they're studying. A mere superficial or surface level knowledge of the concepts won't suffice. Because when you are answering something, or when you are asked about something, and if there is a follow-up question, and you're not well aware of that concept altogether, only just the surface term, so then you may find yourself in problem. So just keep studying persistently, and dedicate yourself entirely towards the purpose you're aiming for, and the goal will ultimately be there for you. Because if we keep focusing upon what will happen next, will I be able to find that goal, achieve that goal, so then I think the focus is lost, the focus is tilted towards the goal, and you are actually not entirely focusing upon the process. So I think one should not think about that, but only on the process, only on their part, the part they are supposed to do, which is study, and everything will come their way eventually.
Okay, so, it was very nice interaction, Shanta, and I wish to very soon complete your PhD and become Dr. Shanta very soon.
Thank
And
you.
also, my best wishes for your GDC exam, GDC interview,
Thank you, sir.
and I wish many more success in the coming days.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.